All right, what's up, everybody? We're back. Another week of Fed Dead Redemption after we took a couple weeks off here. A lot to get into this week. I thought SmackDown and Raw were actually both pretty good. A lot of news coming up, but first we will meet our esteemed panel. Montel, how you doing tonight, buddy?
Yeah, I'm good. How is it only been 2 weeks since we've not done one of these?
Um, we didn't do one to review Clash because it was a busy weekend, and then all the AEW stuff happened. And then last week we didn't do one, and yeah, so I guess 3 weeks. Hey, either way, we're back.
It's
We're
racking
trying to
off,
make it a
man.
weekly thing now. Oracle, how you doing, pal?
I'm doing well. I also enjoyed Monday Night Raw. Bobby excitedly DM'd me at about 11:15 last night. I was sound asleep. um, but I managed to reply to him at about some random time today. It was an enjoyable show. I have some qualms with it, but we'll talk about that when we cover it.
Yeah, and I mean, we will save that for a little bit later. You know, the big news that everyone's talking about this week is that WarGames finally coming to the main roster, kind of give Survivor Series a boost that I think it needed after the past few years. Oracle, you excited for WarGames? You're a big WarGames guy.
Yes, I'm excited that they're finally doing it on the main roster.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm not a huge fan of having a hardcore title match in a War Games match, which is what they usually do. It basically looks like a 2000 WWE hardcore title scramble match inside of a War Games cage. I'm probably being a little harsh on that, but like it's frustrating because I enjoy the 80s and 90s and early 90s War Games matches so
Mm-hmm.
much. Um, and I don't particularly love the NXT War Games matches, though I did love the women's War Games match, the first one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
thought was outstanding. Uh, but even with all that, all the criticisms aside, I am looking forward to it, and I think looking at what they've got going on with the Bloodline on the men's side, and then of course, Damage Control. I hate that name. On the women's side, I think they can at least have some nice matchups on paper, and I think the in ring will be good enough to offset some of the more glaring issues I have with it. Which number one being length, I think it will probably match probably way too long. But again, I'm excited and I'm interested to see how they incorporate that. And I think it hopefully, if anything, more than anything, I think it will probably save Survivor Series, which
Yeah.
unfortunately is a show that has had to be saved about like 3 or 4 times in the 22 or so years I've been watching wrestling. Um, doesn't seem like it's a show that they care much about. Hopefully Triple H, or at least it seems like he's going to covet that show a little bit better than Vince did in recent years. The brand supremacy stuff was just getting way out of hand, and I'm glad
Yeah.
that they're. I mean, it seems like they're going to get away with that because they're already doing Damage Control's on SmackDown, Braun return on Raw. Now he's on SmackDown. Like they're like everybody's, they're already the brand split's already like only like 70% now. So like they can do a War Games match with some blended rosters. Is what I'm getting at, but also do it, and they can build to that, and like there's avenues for them to do that instead of having to worry about doing Raw versus SmackDown, which I don't think that they'll do here. They'll focus more on the storylines, and that's why I think the blended roster is helping instead of that some, so they won't have to forcefully do the brand warfare shit. So
Yeah,
Mm.
and that's the thing. Like there will be some carryover, I think, between Raw and SmackDown, but it's not going to be four Raw guys against four SmackDown guys.
right, exactly. Like I mean, like a lot of people have talked about like if Sami Zayn turns babyface by that point, and they do the Bloodline versus Sami and Owens and somebody else or whatever. So like, there's options there. Overall, I think it's a positive trend.
Yeah. Monty, you excited for War Games?
Uh, it's good that Survivor Series is getting like a new lick of paint. You
Mm-hmm.
know, they're doing something different with it because, like Oracle was just saying and getting into, like it's just the brand supremacy thing is just so old, tired, and just lacks any sort of real depth or heat to it. It's just always like, here's 4 Raw guys, here's 4 SmackDown guys, and we're apparently supposed to care for some reason.
Yeah.
But, yeah, like I say, it's just a much needed freshen up. The WarGames matches themselves, you know, yeah, it was better back in the day, but
Yeah.
it'll still be good for what Survivor Series needs now, you know. I'm sure it'll be more exciting. It's something new, you know. It's good. Maybe it's not as when I saw that graphic I was saying yesterday when I was on with Joe, like when I saw that graphic on the Ringer article and it was like Triple H with the WCW cages.
Yeah.
Pumped my fist, got really excited.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's still good. It might not reach the peaks of WarGames, but you know, it'll still be fun.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like I kind of alluded to it. Like Survivor Series just needed something new. Like because the brand versus brand stuff. First of all, they timed it the past few years where it's right after the draft, so it's not fresh. But like, it's not a strict brand split throughout the year like it was, in the early 2000s where that actually felt special, where they were only interacting at the big 4 shows. So yeah, this is a good way to kind of reinvigorate things, and I hope they still do Gunther and Lashley. They're still both the mid-card champions. That's a match that I do want to stick around for Raw vs. SmackDown, but yeah, the concept as a whole, yeah, I don't think we really kind of need to keep going down that path, and we can do WarGames every year, and it'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, man. As long as they get the builds right and stuff, they don't just become what the brand supremacy thing became, where it was just 5 guys versus 5 guys.
Right. Well, and the key is, like you just said, is like you don't want it to be just that. Like just a minute ago when I brought up that they already have like the bloodline thing going on that's been building for a while. It's right there. They don't have to just makeshift something. You know what I mean? They can build to that. And let's be honest, there's going to be years where they're going to makeshift it, right?
Mhm.
There's going to be years where it's like, it's WarGames time. We got to find somebody to throw it in there, and it's going to be stupid. Like, it's just, it's inevitable. But at least for this year, I think that they've got a nice setup for it. I'm not saying that they won't just wildly do something, but hopefully they stay focused and give the logical sort of matchups that we would.
Yeah, hopefully they stick the landing because the setups are there. You've got damage control for the women. You've got the bloodline for the men. Find something.
My God.
Here he is.
What's up, pal?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Doing well.
Good.
Fired up for WarGames?
Yeah, man. I'm fired up. You know me. I love me some no roof, high spot WarGames. I'm just playing. I am excited, especially because I think they have 2. I heard Oracle's just talking about it, but they have 2 things that are ready to go. So I think it's logical. There's one element of the women's WarGames that I'm very torn on because 24-hour stream could legitimately kill me. I'm going to leave it at that. Cross that bridge when we get to it. But I'm excited, definitely. It's a cool deal. Very Triple H, which I respect. So.
Yeah. And then, so, Monty, this is mostly just for you because I know you're the only one that really watches it every week, but how do you feel about the NXT rebrand kind of going back to what it was?
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
It's my scouting show.
He just kicked the shit out of you, bro.
No, it's fair. It's like
Oracle, did you see that? You see how Bob distanced himself from that NXT business? You don't know what gives a damn about this, but
no, I'll probably tune back in once it's not taped anymore. Give it a fresh chance, I'm
watching it right now.
Yeah, there you
go.
Yeah,
I've got it on. It still displays NXT 2.0 on picture-in-picture pop.
That show's taped, right?
Yeah, this week and next week.
Good. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, well, I don't know. I don't really want to get into all this White Rabbit, QR code stuff, but it feels hard to ignore. I don't know. Like guess it's going to be Bray Wyatt, and that's fine. But
I feel like we're on like a political with the.
I mean,
I feel like we're doing political
Are
commentary.
you pro Fiend or anti Fiend?
that's the thing. Like, it'll be fine to have him back because it's kind of like when Cody came in. Like, it's another new main eventer. Well, new, I guess. Well, not to that extent, but there are so few guys, like especially on the male side, that the crowd actually has a connection with. So that's something, I guess.
Well,
He's not
Let
very
me tell
good.
you, many people have described Bray Wyatt as an American nightmare, but it's very different context, all right? Very different context.
That's fair.
No, I'm with you. Monty and I actually had a serious conversation about this. Like, he's a talented guy. We'll get seriously. Let's get into it for a little bit. I think Bray has got to a point now where everyone has like a firm stance, and he's like a meme. You know,
Mm-hmm.
he's a talented guy who obviously can get stuff over. You know, he has got multiple characters over to like a huge degree. I don't think any of us want to see him wrestle much, if ever. To be polite or transparent, really not polite, very impolite. He's a guy who probably shouldn't have been released, and definitely has a place there. What that place is, I don't know, and I'm not sure Triple H has the answers. My only actual stance that I will plant my flag in the ground on is if he once again involves the famed all caps in his business, I will take action.
Yeah.
Serious action.
I
will get Bob on my side.
I think she's going to turn. I don't think she's going to go back with him. I don't think that helps anybody.
Just putting it out there that I'm ready to make moves.
Yeah.
If it happens, you know.
No, there's no.
I've seen the paperwork.
That video where they played White Rabbit, or the Jefferson.
Yeah.
They played the song over the PA was one of the most amusing things I've ever seen.
Did you see that in her promo she used like a lyric from that song? Did you see that? Oracle?
Yeah.
That's like
that's troubling, isn't it?
That's bat signal stuff. You know what I mean? It's very scary. I don't know, but no, in all seriousness, I'm glad for the fans that care about him. It's not going to be something for me, but I will say, and I don't know where you guys are on this, I think the actual method of bringing him back, the QR code shit is cool, man. Mm-hmm. I like the way they're using that fan base and how into it they are and like being creative. Yeah, it's cool. I don't know.
Speculation.
Yeah.
You know?
It's cool.
Kind of
like Easter eggs given to them, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like a modern day version, kind of like the Jericho countdown thing.
So like, is it like a QR code? Do you scan it on your phone or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it takes you to
what is it? Does it take you to like Poppy's new album or something?
Nah, come on. Can we talk about Bob's two comparisons of this being Cody Rhodes and Chris Jericho, perhaps the two most memorable debuts in WWE history? It's cool though. It's cool how subtle it is for WWE. Usually they, it's good, man. It's good.
Yeah. We get into the shows from this week though. I thought SmackDown was very good. The Logan Paul business. I guess we should talk about that. Logan Paul challenging Roman Reigns at Crown Jewel. I don't know. I kind of liked how they set it up. Like I thought his promo. I didn't see the podcast. I thought his promo on SmackDown was pretty good, and I thought the press conference was pretty cool. I mean, I was telling Monty before we went on, like it's a better option than like Cross or Braun. And Roman's gonna win anyway, so like I know the bar is low. Like there's like 6 guys on Raw I'd like to see him face, but he doesn't bring the title to Raw, so whatever. But like yeah, I mean if those are 3 options, give me the guy who had the probably 3rd or 4th best match on Mania and 2nd best match at SummerSlam, right? I mean, I don't know. Like it's weird, but it'll work. You got to get to the Rumble somehow, and then from there, it's pretty easy to book Roman to Mania, unless Rock's there, but I don't know. Mm-hmm. Oracle, you fired up for Logan Paul?
I mean, I did like the press conference. Like the highlight video they showed of it. I thought that looked good. I wasn't really fully paying attention to the promo on SmackDown. This is totally it's totally the match they were doing in Saudi, right? Like,
yeah.
Let's do Roman and Logan Paul. Like, my question is how are they gonna like work the match? How is it gonna be laid out? You can't really have Logan Paul have like tons of like.
There's definitely it's gonna start with Roman the deal where the heel like shrugs the baby off and like kind of dismisses him.
Yeah.
They're going to get a good 10 minutes out, I think. And then
And
home
the
spot,
rest.
and you'll do, like, Roman will fucking slip on a banana peel of some kind, go into the comeback, and then,
Yeah.
I think Logan's a good athlete. They can come up with a good finish, I think, right? Like a good stretch with finish.
So what do we think with Roman? Roman works. He doesn't work Extreme Rules. I think we get Drew and Solo Sikoa and a singles at Extreme Rules.
Okay.
No, Cross. It's got to be Cross, right?
Has he called? Did he call out Cross in his promo? I skipped to his promo.
He did, yeah. He did. On the announce table, yeah, he did.
Well, he'll probably face Cross then.
Yeah.
Although they need to do the. I mean, I know they did the singles with Solo on SmackDown, but they wouldn't they go back to that?
Yeah, they should, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I'm thinking Roman does Crown Jewel with Logan Paul. I know I'm jumping around here. Sorry. And he works WarGames, right? But he probably doesn't do.
I'm not sure.
I think he works WarGames.
See, I always tell Joe this. I think he works it.
You don't think he works WarGames?
I think
there's a good chance it's Solo, Usos, and Sammy.
Okay, so Sammy hasn't turned yet then by that point?
My assumption, if you do that, my assumption
at WarGames?
Yeah, that would be my assumption,
Yeah.
And do you think we get Roman and Sammy at day one then?
Probably, yeah. Which is going to be one of the hotter matches in the business, honestly. If you do that match correctly, that's going to be like electric, you know?
Yeah. Because
I hope he works.
I imagine Roman, if he's not there, he works day one then and faces Sammy for the title.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm just not convinced. I hope he does because I think Roman's great, and I'd love to see him in that.
I like them not having December pay-per-views anymore. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
I mean, I know they're going to have a New Year's Day deal now, but I prefer that over like the random December pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you. Monty, where you at on this Logan Paul business, mate?
It's Saudi Arabia, isn't it? Yeah.
A lot of excitement on the panel for this one.
Yeah, press conference was a path. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
The build, I'm not really looking forward to the build, to be honest. But
that's the one thing that frustrates me. I've ranted about this a lot as of late, but I don't like when people are like, it's non-canon. Like, we're going to do a 6-week build, bro. Like,
Nah, shit's canon now. It used to not be canon.
Yeah.
Like the first few times was non-canon.
Yeah.
But then it became canon.
Yeah. It's the biggest match in the promotion.
I think what frustrates a lot of people is people understand we don't watch the shows. That's fine. But like for people who want to like watch the shows, they feel like they can't for reasonable things.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's frustrating because it's like, well, they have these important matches and like,
And it takes over the TV. Like I watched Raw last night, and there was a video about Roman and Logan. It's like it's fucking November, man. Like it's.
I miss when it was. I miss when it was just the Brothers of Destruction versus DX.
Yeah, that's good. Good seeing those guys
embarrass themselves. Sean trying to hold that match together was fucking.
When Kane's mask fell off. Kane's mask falling off is one of the funniest moments in wrestling history. And he covered his face like a luchador.
That match was. That's one of the most like that was like watching like a kindergartner try to paint or something, and like you can't look away.
Yeah,
it's so entertainingly bad.
Well, the real charm of that match is that it was the closest we'll get to like late 90s WCW main events with Hogan and co. Which is funny because all of those guys, other than Kane, kicked the shit out of the old WCW guys for not letting go, and like having shitty matches. Always comes around full circle in the end, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Always.
Oh man.
But so back to SmackDown real quick. Like I like what they're doing with Ricochet. As it turns out, you just let him go out and do flips and shit for 15 minutes. People really resonate with that. Really good opener. They're heating him back up, it feels like. I don't know for what. He had the Intercontinental title already, but there's something you could do with him. I mean, it just... They seem to have not understood him for the past couple of years, and now Triple H seems to get him a little better. So that's good. I like that quite a bit. Let's see what. Solo Sikoa, by the way, I guess relinquished the North American title, so that is how that story ends.
Unbelievable. That's the kind of shit that I ain't got the time for.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of weird. Like, I don't get why you put it on him just to take it off. Let him have it on SmackDown for a little bit or whatever. The match with Moss was good, and he can defend it. It establishes him too.
I want to get Oracle's read on Solo because Monty kicks the shit out of me every day. Because I think he's just I think he's tremendous.
He's good.
He's got it.
Yeah,
he's got a natural intensity, a physicality. He can work. He's going to find his groove as a personality, and I think he's like a nice piece on the roster. Where do you stand on Solos thus far, Oracle?
I like Solo. He's got some charisma there. I like his presence. He is kind of like the he does pretty well as like the tough guy.
Yeah.
Of like already as a tough guy of the bloodline. I'm probably not as high on him as you are, but I do think he's pretty good.
Good work, very good work. Yeah, I think I liked his match with the Madcap Man.
Yeah, it was nice.
Nice little TV match. You know what I
mean? Yeah,
nice match. But yeah, Bob, to your point, Ricochet's one of those guys who he may not be a main event, but there's definitely value there, and they rendered him completely useless for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And it's what we've said a million and one times. We don't have to repeat ourselves too often, but it's just Triple H doesn't have to be a genius. He just has to be smart enough to let some guys just wrestle, and they'll get over to an extent, and you'll be okay. And that's been a thing they've really struggled with. So here's what it is.
Yeah. No, and I actually thought overall it was one of the better SmackDowns in quite some time. I think they're actually kind of starting to build it back up a little bit. This week's looks very good. Interested in what you guys thought about the Fatal 4-Way Tag match, because I thought it was great. Thought the right team won. Really hit a lot of notes for me. Oracle, were you in on this?
I did like that match quite a bit. Yeah, I thought it was really good. I was a little surprised that the Brutes won, but it makes sense. They've gotten really over, and that's kind of a good example of these guys have gotten super over. Let's capitalize on that.
Mm-hmm.
Sadly, I don't think they were that over last night. It was hurt by some because they're working the Profits, and the Profits are pretty over. So, I think Sheamus is obviously probably the more over of the group, and he's kind of the the focal point in terms of crowd reaction. But yeah, I was pleased to see them win.
Yeah, Monty, you like the 4-way?
Yeah, that was what I was thinking as well. Like when Sheamus wasn't with them, so the crowd just wasn't as into it. Which,
yeah,
is what it is, I guess. But I guess the act has got over somewhat to a degree, even if Sheamus is the core of it. The match itself was it was a fun main event. It was the finishing stretch was pretty well put together. I was very worried for Kofi Kingston's health with that Imperial Bomb. I think it's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking killed him with it. Yeah, man, it was fun. Yeah, a fun bit of business.
This Ridge Holland fella. Sank there.
Alabama Ridge.
Yeah, I told Monty he's kind of like he's not very good, but he's sort of like because he's so big and raw. There's an edge there that's fun.
He's a crowbar and it rules. Let's be honest, that's what it is. He's a crowbar and it rules.
Yeah, like he feels like a guy that a good worker could have a really good match with just on pure physicality. He's interesting.
I liked him a lot before he blew his knee out, and he has come back from that, obviously, but I think he's still dealing with some of the effects of the Big E stuff he talked about a couple weeks ago, where it's still kind of bothering him a little bit that whole thing happened, but there's something there.
Yeah, that's a shame. I mean, obviously, shit happens. He didn't train himself to do pro wrestling. You know what I mean? Like, there's people that need to feel a certain way about it. He shouldn't be one of them. Is what he is. Shit happens. Like that's a shame. I didn't know that, but yeah, look, obviously he's raw. I mean, I just said it myself, dude. It doesn't surprise me that he could fuck someone up in there. He's pretty loose with his shit. I don't, obviously, I don't want to see that shit happen. But I hope that he's not dealing with that too much because I think he's a decent talent. Pete Dunne's obviously able to wrestle again, so that's good if you like that kind of thing, I guess. New Day, great. It's cool. Tag division, I think it was a shot. Absolutely, it was a payback for Oracle taking your side on the Solo Sikoa thing. Obviously, Braun ran over the tag division a couple weeks ago, but I'm staying firm on this. I'm bullish on it. Triple H is absolutely going to attempt to rebuild that division. He just is. I've seen enough Triple H TV to know. Dude likes long matches. He's going to want the tag division to be focal because he knows you can get good TV time.
Here's the thing. Speaking of long matches, that was my one qualm with Raw, and I agree with the latest comment. Look, I appreciate it and all, but listen, it's tough on me. He's right. They're 5 12+ minute matches on non-pay-per-views.
It's ridiculous.
I don't even think they were doing that on 2013, 2014 Raws with Shield matches and stuff.
Yeah. I
don't think they were having that many matches go that long. I mean, I'm pretty sure 3 of them hit 20.
Monty and I were talking about
tough.
We were comparing Bayley Raquel and Bayley Alexa because we agreed the Raquel match was better.
Mm-hmm.
And I said to him, I was like, I would like to have seen Alexa and Bayley go 10 rather than 15, where they stretched everything they were going to do thin. And it's like, Monty and I were talking about a little bit. There's honestly in the business right now, there are agents and bookers that overestimate or underestimate how hard time is. When you're doing a 15 match where everyone really knows the result, it's like you don't need to go that's just it isn't necessary.
Oh my god! For example, the Bayley Aaliyah match that went 9 minutes, whatever it was. I mean, that was absurd.
Perfect example, yeah.
Yeah, it's really tough.
And I also think here I go. I'm going to go on my box here, but it diminishes your pay-per-view matches when you have these 15, 20-minute matches on Raw, multiple of them, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. And then you go and have these same matches on pay-per-view. Well, what's the value of that? You already saw it on TV.
And when you do that many interferences, you train the audience to only pay attention at the end, which is something that we are seeing across the business and is a serious problem.
Mm-hmm.
And I tweeted about this, and Bob, I'm sorry, we're jumping ahead a little bit, and we'll get back on
good. Yeah.
So I watched Raw on the air last night, so I didn't have sound. And then I rewatched the main event because I was fucking exhausted, and I need to see it again. And on the commentary at the end, it reminded me of something that I think is a massive problem in the business right now, which is, so Bayley cheats to win, right? She's a heel.
Mm.
And Jimmy Smith's call of it was what a big win. She beats Lex with some help from. It's no, we've fucked it. If interference is that much commonplace in the show, it's that easier thing to just dismiss. There's no point doing it because there's no heat in it. The whole point of interference is it should be you've robbed me of a finish. You have robbed my favorite wrestler of getting what she deserved. You have robbed the fans of a fair, match. And it's you've now done them so much that Jimmy Smith can't. I'm not even criticizing Jimmy Smith, to be clear. What I'm saying is he can't sell an interference that way. He's seen 4 of them that night.
Yeah.
It's more of an outlier when there isn't interference. And it's that. And by the way, this is not a WWE criticism. AEW have this problem tenfold and have for the last year. It's fuck, man. You got to sometimes just pin people. Bayley can pin Alexa. You don't need to do interference. And if you're going to do it properly. But that was something last night that it stood out to me because it's it reminds you of what are we actually doing an interference for if there's no heat on it, there's no controversy to it, it's just an interference for the sake.
A lot of protecting for the sake of protecting, it feels like. Sometimes it feels like the booker, whoever it is, because you said both shows, which is definitely factual. I feel like they don't really think of what they're protecting this person for. You know? What's the actual meaning of it?
I mean, it's look at last night. Does Seth have to be protected against Bobby? Does that actually matter? Does Riddle have to be protected, therefore protecting Ray in a tag match? Does Alexa have to be protected when she's clearly going to move into a new character soon anyway? I mean, you're killing your interference play because you're doing it so much. You're taking the edge off it. I don't know. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. Bobby, what was we talking about before I hijacked this show? I'm sorry.
No, I mean, that's good because I did want to get into that part of Raw. But overall, if you were able to look past that, I thought it was a very good show. I thought Seth and Lashley ruled.
Got some breaking news. Titan Paxley's putting it together.
Oh, fuck off.
You
freak.
She's finding a feet.
Yeah, I think he's put together too. Oh, I mean, let's continue on.
You can't say I've got some breaking news like that, bro. That could have been anything.
Yeah.
Have you seen wrestling the last few weeks? Anything could have happened. Pepsi Phil could have been outlawed from AEW for all I knew.
Oh God. Allegedly, that news is supposed to be finalized soon.
That's what I hear.
That's a separate topic altogether. Bobby, continue. We've derailed your show.
No, you're good. Don't worry. It's fun. I thought Lashley just kind of powering out of the stomp was incredible. Clapped in my living room. Because I've never seen that before, and that ruled.
Fair.
And yeah, just Lashley just kicking out of everything Seth threw at him. It's awesome, man. I'm glad Lashley's having this run because they wanted him to be this guy 15 years ago, and he never quite got there. And now he's there definitively.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question for you guys. You know WWE a lot better than I do. Is Bobby Lashley on his way to being one of the greatest US champs that promotion's ever had? Because that prestige, that belt is like its lineage in WWE is kind of weird anyway. And Cena's probably number one, right, with the Open Challenge run in 2015.
Yeah.
But I was sitting there thinking about other famed WWE US title runs and was perplexed. So help me out on this. Oracle, I think this is a topic suited for you most definitely.
Okay.
What do you reckon? US title run. Who's the best ever and where's Bob on the way to go? What do you think?
Well, let's think about this for a second.
Benny.
Oh, fuck.
Benny was okay as the U.S. champ. Think about this.
It's tough, man.
Yeah, it's not many,
Is it?
right?
Yeah. It is tough.
How long has Bobby had it for? 3 months?
I did like MVP as US champ.
Yep, that was good.
Let me think about this.
Few scenes in
The
chat.
Miz, I did like Miz as US champ. I know you hate Miz, but I legitimately like Miz as US champ. I thought he was a good mid card heel at the time.
He's good at that role, yeah.
Bobby Lashley's last reign was good.
Yeah, Bob, honestly, I think he's second to Cena. I was thinking about this a lot.
Yeah. No, I think so too. And yeah, his first reign was very good.
He's had 2 big reigns, bro. Big ones.
Everyone got mad because he beat everyone. It's like, well, they're gearing him up to be champion. And
there's a lesson in that, let me tell you.
Yeah.
Everyone got mad because
when was his first reign?
The one that got him to the world title. Remember, he was he beat everyone and then he dropped it to win the world title
He dropped it to Riddle.
the same week, yeah. He
No,
dropped it
that's
with multi-man.
last year or whatever.
That's right, with Hurt Business stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was a really dominant run too, so.
Yeah.
I think he's one of them, man. I honestly do. Dude's
He's certainly in the conversation now.
Dude's on a run.
100%.
Yeah. It's also cool they lean on him for bangers on TV too, because people didn't see that coming. You know what I mean? It's pretty wild that he's that guy now. He's just can have great 20-minute matches. Good for Bob.
Shelton did have the U.S. title for a long time.
Right?
Yes.
Oh, that's not fair to Bobby.
Well, I don't remember any of the matches. It might have happened. I just haven't seen it. So
Yeah.
Bob has got the catalogue. Bob, what's the Shelton US title classics you got?
It wasn't. It was fine. His Intercontinental run, his first run was better, but
Yeah.
Shelton and Ali faced Alpha Academy on main event this week. Fired up to watch that tomorrow.
Shelton and Ali, is that team now?
Yeah.
Is Cedric not with Ali?
Yeah, it was supposed to be
Cedric
I
and Ali.
remember. Yeah, this is barely a scoop, but I think Backup Hangman said something about them suggesting that's what they want to do. Cedric and
Paul was-
Ali, they want to tag team together, and Paul's just
Didn't they have a really good tag match on Raw a month ago?
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
With
Against
somebody?
Miz and Ciampa.
Yeah, that match was good.
I don't know if Paul is a big Ali guy.
I don't think he is.
Yeah.
He'd use him more by now.
Paul knows ball.
I thought
Political.
the Kevin Owens Austin Theory stuff was fine. I mean, it was a good match. I don't like Theory, so kind of is what it is. I don't know if they're gonna have Gargano take the briefcase, if that's what they're going for here. It'd be weird though, because babyface with the briefcase is strange. But I also don't see a time for Theory to cash in successfully. If you're not gonna have a successful cash in, there's really no point in doing it. And I could see Gargano having a successful one, I guess.
Serious question, guys. So everyone likes WWE now.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's giving it a good chance and being fair. if the briefcase just disappeared next week, really?
No one would give a fuck.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think people would be mad online for like a day, and then
I'd swallow that day, bro. I'd just be like, let them be mad for. I ain't fucking booking.
By the way, even though it's dumb discourse, it pops me. How about football on destroying Raw's ratings?
Oh, bro, it's crazy. And I looked at the thing. It was like, it was just that way. It wasn't even like it was one of those things that people watch the start show. I was like, this sucks. People had no intention of watching it last night.
Yeah, they were like, no, football on. That's exactly what it is, by the way.
Well, usually, they get like a 20-minute boost without football, but the one game started at 7:15 last night. They don't usually have 2 games. So
it was weird. I know it was 2 games that they went head-to-head with, and he kicked the shit out of the viewership, but the demo went up.
Yeah, the old
I couldn't make
WWE's in with the kids, bro. They had Alexa and Bayley working on top. Did you hear all the stories the kids at school were saying? Did you see that classic last night on Raw? I saw one story where a kid was like, my God, Alexa was out there selling like Kawada. I said, fuck, the kids know about Kawada now? It's come a long way. But what they should do is...
She was out there selling like Kawada on that 88 tag. Could you imagine some third grader saying that?
They high five. Damn right she was. Anyway, this Wednesday, I think MJF may actually cash in that chip as like a Money in the Bank-esque thing. If that happens, Paul should absolutely not have the briefcase on TV ever again as a bit. I would respect that so much, wouldn't you? That's your thing now. You deal with it.
Yeah.
I ain't doing it.
And that's the thing. Like, people have brought that up, and I know we don't talk about AEW on here, but I don't get, if you have the choice, seeing how Money in the Bank has kind of become, why you would willingly make it a cash-in thing.
Why would you bring that to the show, Joe?
I'm a piece of shit. That's what I do here. Not even supposed to be on this show.
Put a weird taste in my mouth.
Tyler Bate looks 44 years old with that beard.
Leave it. That's Monty's friend.
Works like a 44-year pro.
Fair. Good rally.
The 2 tag matches on Raw were fine. I actually like Brawling Brutes and Street Profits more than I like the other one. The crowd just didn't really care about the other one, which is a bummer for a Rey Mysterio match. But I don't know, man. They don't care about Judgment Day. Like,
it went 17 minutes, Bob.
That too.
Ray got a hell of a hot tag. Pump my face.
He's fucking unbelievable.
Yeah, he's great.
He made me so happy.
I
was saying to Bob before we came live, I was literally like falling in and out of sleep throughout like the second hour sort of thing. And I was seriously considering going to sleep. I made my mind up I was going to sleep, and I didn't read the fight for select spoilers, and I didn't know Ray was going to come out in his music kit, and I pumped my fist, and I was up. I was like, all right, man, I'll watch the rest of the show.
Where does everyone stand on Judgment Day, Oracle? Where are you at this point? Because they're getting a lot of TV time. Like,
Rhea Ripley's like absurd. Like, characterization's great. Like, I enjoy that stuff greatly. I mean, it's completely ridiculous, but she hems it up so much that I think it works.
Yeah.
Finn does not fit in that group at all.
No.
Like, he has like him being a leader of the group is hilarious to me because he does not like scream goth or like, do you know what I mean? Like, he just doesn't scream that at all.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not a right fit for him. It didn't. That was the same for Edge too. It wasn't, it just didn't. It's like, what?
Yeah, like, which rules because it was his group.
Right. Right. So like, it's like, I don't know. Dom fits in it, just in at least image wise. I pointed out, like, I appreciated the Dom turn, and like it was Rhea Ripley who like manipulated him, and it reminded me of like a Southern Shindy show, I'd go to, and like there's that really shitty blowjob babyface that like 3 grandmas and 2 teenage girls like in the crowd, and then like they turn him heel, and he comes out and like wears like dark clothes and does like poor acting, and it's like one of the fun things about the show because it's so ridiculous. Yeah, it rules. But I mean, like, yeah, they're not really over. And Damian Priest is someone who I liked fine in NXT, but like he don't got it, man.
The heat on Dom last night was fucking made me angry.
Shades of Bubba Ray Dudley in the ECW arena, am I right?
It was, I think, I've had enough of Judgment Day. Pretty much have done from the start, to be honest. And like them getting so much TV time and Dominic getting all this heat, just meaning I'm going to get more of it.
A lot more,
Just filth.
Yeah. What's this about, Bobby? Don't have an answer, my God. Can we talk about Bob getting destroyed on Twitter for suggesting Gallows and Anderson come back to assist AJ in fighting Judgment Day? Bob was froze.
Great.
I thought he was so locked in fear that he had just sort of. I was concerned about him.
Oh, is he frozen?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he was. I thought he was petrified too. I thought he was. I thought they had gotten. There he is.
Bob, I read out the comment. What's this business about the Good Brothers? You got?
Yeah, I was going to bring that up because they did the AJ and Finn thing in the back, and it's like, well, AJ needs 2 friends to help him, and why not Gallows and Anderson? People got real mad. People get mad every time. And a lot of the reason I want them to come back is because their one theme song was very good, and they're not going to use it. They're not going to use it. So I'm going to be owned if they come back. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. Like, that's not a... First of all, they need tag teams. Like, especially if they're going to build the division back up. And listen, they brought Hit Row back. They brought Karrion Kross back. And Gallows and Anderson is too far for people now.
Firstly, it's absolutely happening. And it's very apparent that's where they're going. Because it's Finn who's opposite him, and they did all this business about the 2 Sweet, and they were friends, and it's absolutely where they're going. Secondly, you're correct, obviously. People are being very dramatic about a fine tag team that will fill in the depth of a brand. I'm not going to, I refuse a world in which we're fine with Top Dollar and Ashante Adonis, and we're like, no, we can't have Machine Gun.
Oh, my God.
It's ridiculous.
Those Hit Row tags, man, let me tell you. It's tough.
Ashante's like, I could be wrong on this, bro. I don't think he's a particularly polished pro. They didn't use him a lot in NXT because he's like, he's got a great look, but he hasn't,
The best part is Top Dollar, his gear, man.
Amazing. He's kind of indie-rific. He rules.
He literally looks like a dude who's like out there like goofing off on the basketball court,
Yeah. Our best friend, Top Dollar.
Tell the people about that. Was amazing, bro. Top Dollar tweeted at Wrestle Purists.
I didn't even know what happened, bro. I was just chilling. Back of Hangman sent a tweet into the group chat, which is hilarious because he added us, so it didn't show up on anyone's door. Well, unless they're following both of us. And it was just something like, one of your writers is a hater, so you don't get access now. But it's just letting you know, so you know whose fault it was, or something like that.
What does access mean? Was you gonna shoot a documentary around him or something?
I've never spoke to him. I know Back of Hangman spoke to him, and he DM'd him about it because we genuinely didn't know who it was. And it was someone who wrote a couple indie wrestling articles for us a few months ago, and he didn't even say anything about it. If I'm being brutally honest, here with the Late Night Group family, he just said,
"I'm surprised."
He just criticised one of his bars in one of his.
It's important to watch for. So Carl is booked for England in a couple of weeks. He's working Tanahashi this weekend.
Who is?
The Machine Gun, Carl Anderson. Keep your eye on that. I haven't got any scoop on him going back. I just watched the segment and had the exact same conclusion Bob did, because why else would you put AJ opposite a trio led by Finn Balor while they reference 2 Sweets and Bullet Club? I mean, kind of seems like a lock to me. As long as we get one of those, Triple H does long matches. He should force the Machine Gun to work Finn Balor in like a 15-minute segment 4 match. And I'll pop huge and I'll log on and Oracle will be like, that fucking sucked. And I'll just delete that.
Hey, Carl Anderson's a good worker. It's the other guy who was legitimately incredible in the ring, in my opinion. He was really good. Gallows was great for several years, and then he just decided to do comedy skits and drink beers and throw a decent right hand on occasion.
Oh, hold on, not on occasion. It's pretty. The right hand's pretty consistent.
Solid stuff. Solid stuff, Oracle.
I'm just trying to. I just want to see them, flesh out their WWE Hall of Fame resume, bro. That's all.
Listen, I gotta be honest with you. That was like when my brother Dustin and I were watching, like when he and I were still living together and like watching like Raw regularly and stuff. When they would come on the club, he'd be like, "Oh my god, this is the most boring, worthless, useless team." He was like, "I can't sit through their matches; they're awful."
Good little team,
And you're laughing because it's right, but that's
Hey,
fine.
listen, I never disputed it. I just like the Machine Gun Carl Anderson.
Yeah.
That's all.
There you
That's
go.
all. Nothing more than that. Carry on, Bobby.
All right, let's see. So, we talked about the Bayley and Alexa match being a little too long. I agree with that, but I think the overall presentation, Joe, I know you talked about this a little bit earlier today. The overall presentation, Damage Control, was a step in the right direction, kind of what we were looking for, kind of closer to those first 2 weeks after SummerSlam, which I think we talked about on the late night Grin, how we wanted them to.
I think so.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Bob. Finish your point.
No, it just, the limo and stuff, the golf cart, it all really worked and kind of made them big deals again. And that's what we're looking for.
One of the things I want to talk about with this is, so I thought the post-match segment especially was a big moment for them, and they thought they were clicking as an act as they kind of closed an episode, which is always a big thing when you're a heel group, right? Being able to close an episode out and have a moment that's just kind of dedicated to you being dominant, I think it's important. I think Triple H has really done a nice job with this. I know there was a slight stumble on the tag title thing, and I'm not saying it was good, but I don't think it's ultimately hurt them in the long run. I think...
Yeah, they just wanted to get Raquel over.
Yeah. And I think, look, here's the deal with this. And I know this is kind of nerdy talk, but it's my take on it. Online, it's about this new heel act with wrestlers we all like, and the baby faces are kind of Bianca and friends. I think they've done a really good job of using established people on the babyface side to help the heels come up in terms of where they stand on the roster. And I know that would upset some people because Dakota Kai doesn't need an Alexa Bliss to elevate her. I'm aware she's a better professional. What I'm saying is, Asuka and Alexa have been on their TV for 5-6 years?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
as
much
important
higher standing. 100%.
Yeah. And
No
I
more
think
question.
this is how wrestling's supposed to work. I think it's been very effective.
This is sort of related to the topic at hand.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing I've noticed Triple H does that Vince didn't do, and I do appreciate this, is that now, granted, in the case of Roman, in the case of Roman, he has it in his contract or whatever that he's going to go home whenever he feels like it and come back, whatever. But what I like is that Triple H treats the 3 world champions, Roman, Liv, and Bianca, as world champions.
Yeah.
They don't wrestle every week on TV. Now, but they're always visible, right? Like, now Roman obviously has weeks off. He's Roman. He's like the top star in the company. But like Bianca and Liv will always be present. They'll have a video package. They'll have an interview. They'll have an in-ring segment, but they won't always wrestle. I appreciate that. They're treated like world champions. They shouldn't have to wrestle every week on TV.
I agree totally. There's a few things actually we should get into when we close. We'll get into a few just because we're in 2 months now. Mm-hmm. Let's talk in a minute about broad Triple H kind of triumphs, because there are some in there. Even if I think the time allocation is kind of crazy. Sorry, Bob. To go to your original point, I thought the presentation helped Damage Control a lot. I genuinely, not doing a bit now, thought it was a very encouraging look for Triple H as a booker, because he clearly started a different thing with Alexa too.
Yeah.
Which is what a good booker will do, because you have one person going up and one person going down, but the important thing is to give the person going down a hook. So you had that here, and there was an effort made in that regard. I thought it was good TV. I mean, the match was nothing special. It was a nice match, but that wasn't really what the point was, It was effective wrestling television and coherent in a way that, honestly, I'll just be real, I kind of miss from the wrestling TV that I consume, because it was just solid, man. It was well executed. Monty, what did you think of the whole package we got for the last 20, 25 minutes of the show?
The Alexa Bliss video package partner. Yeah. It was good to see, obviously, Damage Control close out the show. Give him something called, something with a bit of meat to it. He got quite good heat, to be fair.
Yeah.
Io Score's moonsault was, the run up was a bit. The run up was very delicate.
Yeah, she's struggling a little bit. The footing is difficult right now.
Yeah, God bless her, but hopefully she, hopefully she gets to 100% sooner rather than later. But yeah, man, we'll see what happens. Hopefully, I think the presentation in general for Damage Control last night was a step in the right direction. To be honest, it felt different, even if it was just them coming out on a golf cart. It pops me. I like the women main eventing. Obviously, it's a plus. The match itself was,
It's fine.
Yeah.
I said to. I'm intrigued by your read on this Oracle, but I was saying to Monty earlier. I think there's a perception that Alexa Bliss is bad.
Yeah.
I don't think that's what it is. Alexa's best work has a lower ceiling than most of the top women's best work, like much lower.
Sure.
Her ceiling is like good. She doesn't very seldom will she exceed that. I would say though one of her strengths is she's competent in a fashion that means her floor is also higher than some of the women that are surrounding her on the roster. And what I mean by that is I think there are some folks on the roster where it is like a roll of the dice. You don't know what you're going to get, right? I think Alexa's very steady. I think she knows what she's doing. She just isn't dynamic enough to have great matches. Does that make sense? What do you think?
She can sleepwalk a 2 1/4.
Yeah, she's very steady. Oracle, what did you make of the main event? What do you think of that?
Yeah, it was fine. I'm with you on Alexa. I think she's. I've talked about this before. I think she's kind of put. She's gotten a little bit more dynamic offensively, which I think helps.
Yeah.
Her bumping and feeding and stuff has always been her biggest weakness because she's afraid to do it, or at least it appears that way. I mean, to be fair, so would I. So, I mean, I'm not gonna, not gonna talk too much shit here about that. But yeah, I mean, I would say she's just like, she's never, like you said, she's never terrible. Like, I'm not sure she's ever had performances as bad as a handful of really bad Sasha Banks performances, for example. And Sasha Banks is like the best women's wrestler, in the history of the company. But Sasha's had like 4 or 5 performances in her career that are just like, ooh, this is not good, or like Charlotte Flair, for example. Charlotte especially. Charlotte's had performances where she's been absolutely fucking dreadful, like just horrible in every way.
Yeah.
But I don't think she's ever had a good, obviously never as good anything as Sasha or Charlotte. She's like Monty said, 2 1/4.
2 and 3.
She can get you a sandwich from an expensive, snack machine. That's about it.
God, that sounded like it had many connotations. She can get you a sandwich. I was like, what the fuck was he saying?
That's just my commentary on the expensive snack machines.
I figured it out after.
I mean, that's insane, but it's good that they're.
I don't know. So the other Bayley San Jose match was good.
Mm-hmm.
One of the Sasha ones, probably. I don't really know after that. I'd be struggling. But I'm also bad. Monty and I were talking earlier, and he sent me an interaction between Alexa and the famed Natalia, who will not comment on further than this. But I said to Monty, you could have told me they'd never fucking wrestled. I have no memory of these matches. They were talking about on Twitter. I have no clue. So my memory's bad. But what do you think? Give me your power rankings on the Alexa match catalog.
Yeah, the other San Jose match. Maybe it's not that insane, honestly. I don't.
Why would it be insane? It's cage match. They're always right.
That's true. They love WWE again too.
I hear that.
Yeah. The
Nikki Cross. A Nikki Cross match.
I don't even remember that, Nikki. I don't even know what the hell.
We need to find the tape. Then do a grin along.
I'm trying to even think what Alexa Bliss' best match is.
The Mickie James one was good, actually.
Yes.
I'd forgotten about that. That was good.
That match was
Charlotte,
good.
I did not like.
Not as good as some people say it is, but it's good.
What one?
Mickey James.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm sure some people say a lot of crazy things. I don't remember the Charlotte match being good. I would say last night was better than the Charlotte match. I don't remember the Mickey match.
17?
Yeah, I didn't like it.
She had a passable match with Ronda Rousey on the first run, I think.
Yeah, the match. That's actually her best.
The Ronda Rousey match from
the second one, I think, is her best.
The second one was very highly praised by even by the most staunch extreme message
and
supporters.
She was concussed very early in that match. I think that's probably her finest hour because she actually does a very good job in that match. I don't remember the Asuka matches being good. I don't.
I seem to remember having one decent Asuka match on TV.
I genuinely don't remember.
Maybe I'm wrong about that.
This is what I would say is her best match. The first Bayley match in San Jose, which everyone forgets because the finish drove everyone crazy, but the actual match itself is good.
Yeah.
The Sasha matches, those matches are good.
Great Balls of Fire is very good.
And the one on Raw before SummerSlam, not the SummerSlam match, but the one on Raw. That one's really good.
Yeah.
Or the one after SummerSlam.
Yeah.
That one's great.
Yeah.
That might be her best match, actually.
The point. I love the way we've gone with this. Doing a Grin grappler Alexa Bliss impromptu. The point I was trying, I apologize, everyone. I was just saying, she's very steady, and I think, she's someone who's competent, but she has a ceiling, which is the kind of worker that Oracle can attest. Promotions used to be filled with workers like that, right? They knew their game and they just went out and had matches, and you didn't really make much of them, but they were popular for other reasons. And I think it's encouraging, Bobby. I'd like your take on it. I think it's encouraging the way that Triple Paul is getting moving with the all caps. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, just considering how the last couple of years have gone, there's been a wild improvement, but it's just nice. She's kind of a featured player again, and they actually seem to have a direction for her, and she's been pretty good in the ring, and it's kind of what we've been looking for, and I'm excited to see where it goes. I think she's gonna turn heel. I don't know if she's gonna join up with Damage Control and be on their side in WarGames, or she's going to be in the WarGames match and kind of do the Dakota Kai thing where she just turns on him immediately. But it's exciting.
She should just be a piece of shit, man. She's good at that.
Good at that.
Yeah.
What is the Triple H fascination with I'm just now figuring this out. I'm putting two and two together. So they're doing the thing with Cora Jade where she hit Roxy with the with the thing, and I'm what is with these people at WWE carrying around weapons that they use? And I'm thinking, oh wait a minute, the sledgehammer.
Yeah, can we?
And it's
it's
the thing.
Can we talk about how fucking awesome this is? Oracle and I just talked about this Alexa Ronda match like it was a famed Oracle was a lot of people praise it. I was it was fucking good, and then Joe puts in chat 4.5. Fucking rules. All right. Anyway, what do we think? Is Bayley winning this belt at Hell in a Cell, or whatever the fuck Extreme Rules, whatever it's called?
Yeah, I mean, probably. I don't know. Feels like they're going to do a stipulation match. I just don't really know what kind, unless they do a singles match, then a stipulation match at Crown Jewel.
Do a cage match, bro.
That'd be cool.
Cage match.
Any worry that they're probably both going to be in WarGames and they do a cage match? I guess they're not that similar.
No, bro, that's a classic WCW play. Undercut WarGames with a cage match. That's a tale as old as time, isn't it, Oracle? You got to do that.
Yeah. They could do a TLC match.
Yeah, that's a good one because there is no TLC this year. I don't believe because
you could have the other ones. Well, I guess you could do Asuka, or you could just have them basically have interfere and basically have a 6-way TLC, but really it'll be a singles match. And then just have a bunch of. Sounds like something they would do.
So, I'm not sure about Bayley. I don't know, Monty. What do you think? Is Bayley winning the belt?
I'm gonna say no. Extreme Rules.
I think that's where I'm at too. There's Oracle. What do you think?
Yeah, I think I'm not even sure she. I don't know. It's tough to say. Part of me thinks she should win, but I feel like Extreme Rules is too early.
Yeah, I would be a little bit. I'd be a bit gun shy. I ain't gonna lie, guys. Like,
Yeah.
you brought them in as a faction. They beat them in a trios. They've won most of the exchanges. It's like, and now you're gonna have Bayley beat Bianca too. It's like, fuck.
Bailey was gone for like a year. She's had like 2 singles matches or something so far.
Yeah, I'd be a little bit hesitant.
I'd I love me some Bailey, but
She's great. Yeah, it's not a Bayley thing. It's just,
she hasn't. She's still shaking a bit of rust off.
I think so.
I'm not mad at her.
I think I guess it depends how you're getting, like what you're doing at WarGames, right? Like, what do we think? So, firstly, what do we think the WarGames match is? Like this, I know it's hard, like a rough idea, because the one I told Monty yesterday was Damage Control, a heel Alexa, and Rhea, who I think they could easily slide in there for the sake of star power.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be Rhea.
Is that a scoop, or are you just being spiteful?
Yeah, kind of.
Baby faces would be Bianca, Asuka, Becky, Sasha, Naomi. I think that lineup would be fucking spectacular.
Oh yeah.
But then within that lineup, is it best that Bianca loses the belt because the babyface would win WarGames?
Who did you pick the heels?
Damage Control, Alexa and Rhea.
Alexa and Rhea. Yeah. Who do you think it would be outside of Rhea, Monty?
Yeah, she has a pick for this, which is the funniest thing. You have someone that you think might be in the group, right?
Oh fuck!
Yeah.
Try to erase it from my mind.
Indy Hartwell, brother.
That's Bailey's mentioned it in some sort of interview, like how she spends a lot of time with Indy Hartwell and etc. and it's just like, I don't know, because Bailey's always working in these interviews as well for the most part, so it's like,
I'll say this about Indy Hartwell: she does things outside of the ring fairly well.
Yeah, she's a good character.
When the bell rings.
I wouldn't want to add something. To be honest, I was interested in the idea of Asuka before, but I wouldn't add someone to Damage Control for a bit. I think you need to get their chemistry down first. You need to crack that, and then you can worry about adding people. I think, but I don't know. I think, I'm not sure because the babyface side, it feels like Sasha's got to work that show. It's in Boston, man. She's got to be back by then, right?
Yeah.
I would think so.
So you'd assume that means Naomi. So that's 2. Bianca's 3. And it's like
I don't
Becky's
think it'll be Sasha. I don't think it'll be Sasha and Naomi.
Okay, so you think it will be Bianca,
Raquel, and Aaliyah?
Maybe, yeah. No, you're actually being serious.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's the match?
That
Becky is Becky back?
Mm-hmm.
Becky, Bianca, Asuka, Aaliyah, and Raquel. Is that the babyface team?
No. Yeah.
And the heels.
They might not even turn Alexa, but I'd assume that.
I feel like they got 2 months. Last night was that signal stuff. You know what I mean? I told Monty earlier, but folks,
I do think Raquel and Leo will actually be in it.
That's fine. In all seriousness, this be complete. Look, Aaliyah's bad, but let's be honest. There'll be a lot of people that get dramatic about who should and shouldn't be in WarGames. Oracle and I can tell you there's been some shitty wrestlers in WarGames. It's okay.
You know what I mean? For sure. Listen. I actually think I have a theory on Raquel. I think
here we go.
She has a lot of theories.
Well, I knew that was coming up. I think she was fine, and then she got worse when Bruce and whoever else was in control. I think they were telling her to do certain things, and she was not good at it. And I think she's gotten slightly better in the last couple of months.
She's good. I think she's good.
That's pretty much exactly what I was saying to you earlier, Joe.
Yeah.
She was okay, then she got worse, and now she's getting okay again.
I mean, because she was getting better, right? During the Rhea Ripley feud. And granted, Rhea was a great opponent, and they're building up for the title, and she was getting a lot better. She's like, okay, she started to get good, and then she just right around last summer, she just got worse and worse. She was bad. I was like, ugh. I was like, this does not look good.
Yeah.
And then literally since Triple H took over and she's moved up to the main roster, which I think she moved to the main roster like a month before Triple H took over.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, those Ronda matches were not bad. The first one was not bad at all. I actually
The match with Bayley was really good, I thought.
Yeah.
On Friday.
I mean, she's improving a lot.
I like her, yeah, and I think. Look, man, again, WarGames is not sacred ground. There's been a lot of shitty WarGames matches. And there's been a lot of shitty wrestlers, Like, I saw a lot of that yesterday, and it's like, you'll be fine. I mean, obviously, you're not going to have her going first, Aaliyah, that is.
Right.
If she's surrounded by people like Becky and Bianca and Asuka, I think she'll be okay. She can stand in the corner and punch people every once in a while. You know what I mean? It'll be all right.
Yeah, she'll get she'll take one little cage bump. Yeah. It'll be fine.
I must admit, the Dakota turn being the Alexa thing is interesting. But I don't know if you can get two fucking months. It's a long time, man. Think of where we were 2 months ago.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, could you get there with Alexa's babyface without everyone in the crowd expecting her to turn heel? Because the Dakota one worked because it kind of caught people off guard from what I remember. So.
Okay, what are we talking about?
I'm saying.
Oh, yeah.
Like, doing the Alexa turn in the match is interesting, but 2 months? Can they get through 2 more months of this shit without her being a heel?
I think they're better off doing the turn.
Having her just be on that team.
They're better off doing the turn after Extreme Rules, like right after Extreme Rules.
Are they doing the tag title match Extreme Rules? What's the match for that? Is it like?
I don't know because they're doing it on SmackDown. So this week.
I mean, are they doing the rematch between All Caps and?
Oh, that one.
That could be the turn, honestly.
Yeah, I could see it.
That's true. What Don't Have an At said. That's actually possible.
Yeah, Shotzi said Monty's a big Shotzi fan. Speaking of wrestlers with high.
Can you imagine? Hey, Lexi, we got you another Shotzi spot.
Bro, she'll go home. I'm doing it. Enough. First, you got me wrestling 15-minute matches. Now you want me to do something with Shotzi? She nearly killed her. God, that was one of the classic wrestling moments of the year, wasn't it?
People.
Look, in all seriousness,
people were just ridiculous. Like, come on now.
Seriously.
Even Alexa Bliss had to get on there and be like, listen, folks, shut the fuck up. Like, calm down.
And she's right. We're only having fun here. Shotzi, like, shit happens. But if you watch wrestling the way we watch it as fucking nerds, when Shotzi went into a spot with Alexa Bliss in a ladder match, you popped. And, like, you watched it unfold in real time, like this sort of calamity.
You got an idea where Shotzi's going to give you an electric chair under a ladder or whatever the fuck it was. I'm sure Alexi was like, "Oh, that's a great idea. Hopefully my bags go missing on the plane to the show."
That would fucking rule if she actually got out of TV with that one time. She's just following on Twitter, man. Those fucking airlines, they kick the shit out of me. Shows up to SmackDown, it's like on the board, Alexa Bliss versus Shotzi. She's like, fuck. Like, yeah, I'm going. Asuka's gonna have to take this one. Bro, Asuka with that doll last night, man. What a uniquely brilliant wrestler.
When she took the bump into the stairs with Lily.
Oh, yeah.
She took all of it with Lily.
Yeah.
And the thing that pops me is like people do this deal where it's like they shouldn't do this to Asuka. Like, Asuka's having so much fun with that whole shit. Like she's so chill with it. I think there's this perception that like goofiness is below Asuka. It's like she clearly loves doing it. Like she's done the undefeated.
Good at that. She's good at
it. She's good. And like when you're trying to build other people up, you don't need Asuka to be like the undefeatable destroyer. She can do more than that. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. She fucking rules.
She's a great wrestler and a great worker. She's versatile. She can do whatever.
Exactly right.
You know, like, she can go out there and bump with a doll. It could be because she's Asuka, you know, or Asuka. Damn, you got me saying Asuka now.
2
like
weeks.
William Regal or something.
We're 2 weeks away from the Grin Grappler.
Like Bill Regal.
2 weeks away from Grin Grappler.
Yeah,
that's gonna be a hell of a time, isn't it?
It is.
Oh yeah.
Can't wait. Now, Bob, have we covered like the week's news and stuff?
Yeah.
Do you guys want to just do like a quick big picture thing on Triple H's like his strengths, weaknesses, like his regime? Because like I like your point earlier, Oracle, about the like the champs. In general, he seems to use less people on TV and like widen their television time of the core guys he wants to use, right? Like he's he seems into the idea of having some people just be off for a week so they're fresh. That's something that stood out to me. The match times is my biggest concern.
Yes.
The Fiend stuff and the Loomis stuff tells me that he's open to doing more kind of unique, character such. Bob, where do you stand on Triple H's regime through 2 months? Like just generally.
Yeah, I think he's been pretty good overall. The biggest thing is like Raw generally does not feel like a 3-hour show, which wasn't really the case for a portion of the year. And I think a lot of that is just kind of switching things around and, not having 15-minute gaps in between, an entrance and the match actually starting, just using that time in a smarter way. I do think the matches are still too long. They could use a couple more, angles, interview segments, and stuff like that. But overall, I think it's been good.
Monty, what do you think?
Well, the last guy that was in charge was a senile, fucking insane moron. So, yeah. So obviously, he's came in and he's made a point of, without doing anything too wild, of, this is going to be different and more, sensical, I guess. And, that makes a big difference because, like I said, Vince was so crazy that just correcting some of the craziness that he was doing it makes a big difference throughout everything that he does. Obviously, we've mentioned it loads of times throughout this, but the match times can be a bit grating at times. Sometimes, especially with like the 3-hour Raws, it feels like he just adds 5 minutes onto every match to kind of like fill out the show. Yeah. But we were speaking about it yesterday, Joe. It's kind of giving him a bit of slack with that because it's a 3-hour show. It's quite insane.
And it's not his roster yet either. Let's be fair.
Yeah. His talent ID is very random. It's very random. It has some incredible range to it. But I like that he's go on.
No. It's just, I just wanted to quickly, because you used to talent ID, I wanted to isolate that because I think it's an interesting point to kick around. I think it's like Tony Khan in 2019. Remember when Tony Khan was so desperate for guys to be on his TV show that he appeared to like every wrestler to ever laced up pair of boots and was into every style and was just like, yeah, contract, fuck it. And then like in the last year, you've seen the wrestlers he actually likes and the ones that he had no interest in to begin with, but he just felt he had to sign. Give it a year. I'm not sure some of these fellas will be the ones he's pursuing. I think he wants to make a point. But carry on, Monty.
Yeah, his talent order, it's got some crazy range to it. You know what I mean? Like, you bring back a guy like Gargano, pops Twitter. Bring back a guy like Loomis. It's like, okay, whatever. It seems to pop some of the live audiences though.
Sure.
Braun is one that I understand because, he's a main eventer. He's big.
He's real.
And yeah, there's no one like Braun. I'm sure I've said it many times on different podcasts, but when it comes to the big 7-footers, no one's touching Braun. So
I agree.
Aziz.
No, you're right, mate. I actually think, like, for all of his faults, I definitely think Braun's usage kind of like we took him for granted in some ways. Like when you see him out there live and he's over, it's like fuck. Like there's something for Braun to do, Like he's
of course there is. It's like we were saying earlier, Joe. Look, wrestling is simple. You send out a fucking monster, 7-foot, ripped to shreds, fucking animal out there.
Red pants.
Yeah, you let him powerbomb Otis. It's gonna get over.
I can't wait.
That was fucking nuts, by the way.
Yeah, the way he got him up, that was crazy. I'm actually like genuinely excited for that match. I'm not even doing a bit, because that's Otis is fun, man. He's a fun wrestler. So
yeah, he's pretty good.
Otis is a good worker.
Bryan Danielson writes him as well.
This is something that concerns me, Oracle. I'm intrigued by your take on this. Triple H, I'm not sure the angle playbook is the deepest. I hate to say. I think he's struggling a little bit on that front.
It's not the hour on the network.
He has
anymore.
like 5 things he does, and he just rotates them over and over and over and over and over and over again. And it gets really old. Like I said, I can't wait till like the big brawls.
Has he done contract signings yet? He used to remember the contract signings back in the day.
Oh yeah.
God.
He used to have to pick, like on the takeover card, you have to pick one match.
I think Liv and Shane had done one. Did they?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
That concerns me a bit, I have to be honest.
Yeah, the contract signings are legendary. And like I mentioned, the pull apart brawls. Just get ready. We're gonna get one for Extreme Rules,
Oh my god, we get tons, brother. Tons of them. Riddle and Seth brawl in every segment, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, that concerns me. He's going to need some creative people around him to like juice up the show. The Loomis stuff, while it isn't my thing, is actually encouraging because it shows he's like ability to do some silliness. Which look, I'm sorry, folks, it's 3 fucking hours long. You need some shit along the way that's different, And it's getting over it. Again, it's not my thing necessarily, but it's getting over it.
Definitely.
That's there. The women's division stuff is challenging for him right now because the SmackDown squad is like tragic. You can only do so much, man. But I think the stuff with Raw has been pretty good. I mean, I know people want him to use some of the other women, but like, who? Like seriously, I'm not trying to be an asshole here, but like, what do you really want him to do with Dana Brooke on TV? Like, really?
Yeah.
Let's be fair. So, I think it's been positive overall. I'm definitely more interested now than I was before. So, there's something to be said for that. Bob, anything else, mate?
No, I don't think so. This was a really good show. Glad we did it.
Well, Bob, you can't put over. We never put over our own shows on the late night Grin. You know
That's true.
Yeah, we've never pat ourselves in the back, not once.
Fuck no. This is fair. I forgot about Nikki and Doudrop. And I also forgot that Nikki apparently had a 4-star match for Alexa on TV. So
Doudrop is fucking good, man.
She is.
Yeah.
But be fair. Let's be real. Could you argue they'd be best off just being off for a bit because they were getting beat like fucking drums on that TV show?
Yeah. They're like 0-12.
Bring back Nikki as something else, man. Fuck all this, fuck all this super shit. Fuck it all up. Put it in the
bin. Ridiculous.
Doudrop. My only problem with Doudrop, it's not really a problem. It's probably a good thing long term, especially in WWE with her peers. I think she's a little soft, considering she's so like big. She's like the polar opposite of Nia in that example. in that realm.
You mean that you don't want Gibbs being tweeted of her like just wildly protecting her opponents and us all complimenting it?
God bless.
Know,
the Alexa thing popped me because it's Alexa. When she done the spot by the
it's not really ideal, is it? We're being honest. I mean, it's great, but like the production should be looking at it like we did a spot that was so blatantly fake that people tweeted it was like, look how safe this is. Like, fuck, man, it's wrestling. Jesus.
What the one she put it up on the ring post?
She did that, yeah, for a hammer.
Yeah, that was too much.
Shoot it differently. That's all.
I actually think
her talking of big
elbow
goals.
look great. Like I think her senton and elbow look great.
Yeah, she's good.
But there's a way where you can make those look good and be safe.
Oh my god, we're getting Sanga versus Von Wagner.
Oh,
no,
fuck off.
You are.
Oh yeah,
you are. We're not. You are, Monty. All right, that's not just we. Bob's already made it clear. We ain't.
This is territory wrestling right here, brother.
Well.
The big foreign Sanga versus Von Wagner, the All-American blue-eyed.
Calling that. And here comes Von Wagner. Jerry Lawler's supposed to Lawler for the Southern Heavyweight Championship. And some say Wagner resembles the cavemen of.
Whenever an announcer says some say cooking, they're on the saying. You know what I mean? My favorite announcer line is I was talking to them earlier today. Whenever Jim wheels that back out, I'm like, thank God wrestling's still alive,
Bro, I was popping huge for Jim Ross yesterday. I was watching I watched Sam Joe versus Woods again because I was so tired when I watched it the first time. Jim Ross, like when Woods is doing his thing and he's putting on holds and stuff, Jim Ross is just like silent. As soon as Samoa Joe does anything, he's like, ah.
Did you hear the one in the ad break when he goes? I said it to you yesterday. I don't know if you caught it, like when you rewatched it, but in the ad break, he goes, "I just love seeing him out there."
He loves him, man.
He's fucking insane. He's been like a Samoa Joe stan for like 20 years, and he's only just started commentating his matches. Like they never crossed. It's kind of wild, right?
Loves him.
Joe's one of the 8 wrestlers he likes.
Oh
great.
yeah. The line. What did you say at one yesterday? The one like where he's like, every territory that I've been.
Yeah, he's like I've been around since the 70s, and
who's his favorite women's wrestler? Jamie Hayter.
He doesn't watch those matches.
That's true.
Not Serena Deeb, probably.
Yeah, he does.
He likes himself a bit of Deeb.
Yeah.
It's an interesting question, actually. I'm going to try and analyze that more. He likes the Doctor, right? Doesn't he? Does he even pretend to like Britt Baker? Wow.
I don't remember any instances because, let's be honest, bro, it's very obvious when you like someone.
Yeah, fair.
So Jamie Hayter, someone said
Marina Shafir.
Well,
Bob, there was an interesting take about Marina Shafir on Twitter that you shared.
Which one?
It was one of it. It was you shared it in your Twitter circle, but it was an interesting take. It was like there was a wrestler that we talked about a lot today that was compared to Marina Shafir, and you tweeted it with, "What the fuck is this?"
Oh yeah, no, that was terrible. It was
too
garbage.
far.
It was. I'm just gonna say it. I don't know who the fuck tweeted. I don't care. But someone tweeted that all caps would be the worst worker in the AEW division, including Marina Shafir, and Bob screenshotted it and tweeted it.
What the fuck are you talking about?
He tweeted it in his Twitter circle. I said to Monty, I love
Isn't that what he said?
So mad. Yeah, what the fuck are you talking about? The idea that he screenshotted it, went to tweet it, and was like, fuck, I better just contain this to the circle. I don't want to be mean. And I've just said it on the show because fuck it, who cares? But
That's okay.
It was so funny. I honestly cackled laughing. Fucking amazing tweet. Bob like slammed his fist on the desk when he hears Marina Shafir. What the fuck? The hat was very cool.
It was.
JR's favorite by far. I don't know. It's like I pop the biggest when Eddie Kingston comes out.
Yeah.
And then like especially when Eddie's like gone for a while or whatever, and then if the injuries are COVID or whatever, and he's like, Eddie, where you been? My God, it's an actual wrestler.
It's the best. When you get Eddie, it's another show for another day. When you get Eddie away from this,
my God,
business.
yeah.
I got real mad when he cut that promo on Friday, man. I was like, fuck. Let my man do something else. You know when he did the promo about Sammy on Friday?
Didn't watch it.
It was a pre-tape, and I was watching live, and I heard Sammy, and I was like, oh, fuck. They're still going with this shit, man.
It's old.
All right. Bobby.
What's
you
up?
got any plugs, any promotions, pal?
I don't think so. I will be on the Late Night Grin on Thursday.
What's
Maybe it's a show where people talk about wrestling for 3 to 4 hours, and there's 4 to 8 people on it at any given time now. So,
people talk about wrestling on that show? I thought it was just a show where people like show up and then like wrestling happens to be brought up. Yeah. That's usually how that works.
Oracle and I discuss the football game we're watching.
Yeah.
Who's missing this week? You missing Oracle? Who's missing this week? Someone's missing.
I'll be there.
Who's all 4 no shoot next week.
All right. Okay. So the call 4.
Yeah.
Wait, are the Bengals playing next Thursday?
Yeah.
They're going well, the Bengals, right?
Von Wagner.
Not
the ring
not so well.
intensity.
My Cowboys beat his Bengals on Sunday.
And you gave up on your Cowboys, and that was quite the result, I hear.
Yeah. I mean, they won. That gives me some hope.
Don't stop believing.
If we can beat the Giants on Monday Night Football, I'll have even more hope.
Paul White?
Oh, come on!
Holy fuck! You're playing Paul White? Is this on Elevation?
No, we're playing Saquon Barkley and Daniel Jones and
owned.
Do you know who those people are?
No, they sound good.
Why didn't they lock up?
What?
I'm getting mad because Von Wagner and Zanger didn't lock up.
Right, well, do you have any promotions, Monty?
Yeah, actually I do. Starting on Monday.
I knew he was here. I fucking knew it. I knew. And I knew the only way to get him to show was that. I knew it. Great stuff.
Hiding in the shadows,
Yeah.
ready to pounce.
I feel like he has it on in the background while he's doing something else.
Yeah.
And then like when he feels like
He's
coming
just
in and
storing content to get us with, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Come
Like, he's
in,
gonna miss
get a
at some
few
point.
hoops.
I'm gonna message him that someone Dynamite sucks, and he's gonna be like, "Yeah, but low ceiling, high floor. Am I right?" And I'll be like, "Oh fuck." You know what I mean? It's the way it goes. Here's what it is. You accept.
Vicious.
Yeah,
Vicious.
Wrestle Purist, though, right? Money's pretty good.
Yeah, Recipe is starting a new Monday podcast with some familiar faces on this channel.
Is Oracle on?
You know, Oracle's welcome on the channel whenever he likes, mate.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure he
I'd be worried
especially
about the chat.
on the Thursdays. You know,
Oh my god, the agendas, the merchants.
Oracle on a Thursday would he'd probably block me at the end of it.
Yeah, you are. Oracle comes on and says he liked an FTR match, and she gets the fuck beaten out of him. He doesn't know why. That'd be an amazing
Bro,
segment.
it's me at the minute.
I know.
No one defends my guy Dax, man. Dax the Axe.
I do. I got emotional about it the other night.
Are they not wrestling at this event?
No, but you can't complain about it because they're the AAA Tag Team Champions, Oracle. Please.
Oh.
Please don't get mad at wrestling promoters. Please, Oracle. We're not allowed to do that. Everyone single file and respect wrestling promoters, please.
Well, according to Tony Khan, it'll be a great, great show. Something you've never seen before, and that he never. They don't have bad shows. Certainly not on purpose.
I love the on purpose thing.
The crown.
He said that.
The crown jewel of wrestling markets. See that one?
I fucking love the on purpose thing because like if someone said this show wasn't good, it'd be like meant for it to be good though. That rules. Respect it. That's good shit.
Yeah, he's got good intentions. You know.
Yeah.
He's a good lad.
Any final words?
I mean, Tony Khan's Jacksonville Jaguars are 1-1.
My God.
You know, maybe they put him in a good mood this week. I don't know.
My God.
It's also a division game that they won in a shutout. So.
Is that your final words?
You plugging the NFL?
Yeah, that's what you said.
Yeah.
Tony Khan did that today.
It's not like they don't make enough money. You can watch Thursday Night Football, hosted by Al Michaels and Kirk Herbstreit.
No, they're a compare. We're on the late night Grin on Thursdays.
You can put the game on mute while listening to us and watching us.
Good, very good.
There you go.
Double dip
on the late night Grin, only on the Patreon, where I say even more ridiculous things than I do on the Twitch stream. Although I really just say the same shit, and I'm sure sometimes Joe's. Whenever I say, "Can I say something?" Joe gets on the edge of his seat. I always like that when Joe and she were like, probably got their hand on the.
I'll be honest, bro. I've still got the shakes from when you said Alexa's good to get you a sandwich. I was like, my fucking head exploded. I was so concerned.
Well, that was a shot at my my snack machine. That wasn't even like a sexist comment.
In the middle of it, I was scared. That's all. I know what you meant.
More message requests are.
That's fine. Well, I'll be here Thursday. I'm sure I'll be. I'm sure I'll share my thoughts on
wrestling.
Yeah, Arthur Ashe.
Is that Wednesday?
That's tomorrow. Yeah.
Monty, who's requested to message you? Karen Cross?
No, I don't know why, but I just ended up in my message request, and someone sent me.
Oh no!
Someone sent me pictures of some belt designs, and was like new design leak. Then messaged me an hour later saying debunked. My apologies. And I've got a random message off someone that says, "This is from Thursday. To be the best, you got to take out the best." No context. That's just a message.
Debunked. My apologies. On that note, Shout out to Bobby for a great job steering the ship. I'll be back tomorrow for some Dynamite coverage. Bobby, take us home, brother. Give a big sign out. Put yourself over. Go ahead.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you tomorrow. See you Thursday. See you probably on the weekend. I'm sure we do shows every day again now, so it's good stuff. And
am I in the outro? You?
I can do it. I didn't have it pulled up, but that's fine.
No, that's fine. I could have done it. But,
okay.
I didn't want to stare at each other for 5 seconds. Right. You heard the man. Shout out Bobby Two Shoes. See you on the next one, folks.